Flicky from 1984, designed by Hushikiya Kawasaki and Yuji Ishii, was an arcade game released in 1984 and is a Sega classic. Is it? I'm not too sure. Yeah, Flicky is the reason why I'm reviewing it is because I want to review every Sonic game, and Flicky is technically the first one. Like I said, it predates Sonic by a couple of years there, 84 to 91. Quite a big difference. So why am I covering Flicky? It has really nothing to do with Sonic. Well, it kind of does, because Flicky here would get a little co-starring role in Sonic the Hedgehog, and subsequently Sonic games, a bunch of them, including a co-star role in Sonic 3D Blast, otherwise known as Flicky's 3D Island if you live in the UK or something like that. So, what is Flicky about? Well, if you couldn't tell, you're a bird, a blue little bird named Flicky. You gotta save these chicks from the cats that are known as tigers for some reason. And you die a lot, well, at least in my case. It's an arcade game where, yeah, like I said, you use these little stubs there to shoot at the cats, but they are the same buttons as the jump button, so you can't hold on to them for very long. So you gotta capture your chicks, bring them to the exit door without avoiding the cats. But those cats, there's a lot of them, they come around everywhere, and it's pretty easy to die. So I'm not very good at Flicky, to be honest, if you couldn't tell from the footage. It could be because of the setup I'm using, but who the hell knows. But yeah, Flicky really isn't that noteworthy to be of a game, honestly. But hey, it's a little fun. You got little cute little chicks you gotta save, and just those tigers are so hard to jump over. And I have not much to say about this game. You only have one jump button, even though Flicky's a bird. You can only jump once. He or she, I'm not too sure. The Sonic News article said she, but I don't think they have a specific gender, so I have no idea what old Flicky is here. Those tigers there, they just come out of nowhere sometimes. And yes, you can aim them with little obstacles there, but they do respawn immediately from those little holes, and they're fast, and the screen isn't that big, so they'll run at you pretty quickly. So yeah, after playing this a few times, I haven't gotten very far in it, unfortunately. But hey, that's Flicky. There are bonus games in Flicky, like this one, if you get to a certain point, which I only got to once, because I suck at this game, where you can catch the little Flickies. Not the Flickies, you're a Flicky, these little chicks, which I think they're called chirps, in the net. And yeah, you get bonus points. Like I said, this is an arcade game, so that means that it's pretty much endless. Even though I didn't get too far, at some point the game will loop around. I think there's another enemy, a lizard enemy, but I never got to it. It's not too important. And if you want to play Flicky, I can tell you a little later in the video, because there's tons of ways you can play this game now. So yeah, let's go to the ratings of this game. Difficulty is an important aspect to talk about. Difficulty, I'd say, is hard, to be honest. I don't remember it being this hard. Maybe it's because emulation I was playing wasn't too good. Yes, those tigers are really hard to jump over, and they don't give you any slack. And also, if the tigers hit your little chirps there, they will bounce off you, and you gotta recollect them. There's also the chirps that have sunglasses that do their own thing, basically, so they're kind of annoying. So they're not given a lot of options to hit them, and they will respond immediately. There's so many, and they come at you really fast, so you have to really react incredibly quickly. I guess it makes sense. We are talking about Sonic, so you want to have fast reflexes, but still, it's annoying. Gameplay. Gameplay is good. Even though I die all the time, I say it's a good game. It's pretty good gameplay. Level design's okay. Nothing too spectacular. There's only a couple levels in the game. I didn't go for all of them, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Story? Nothing. There it is. Help guide Flicky to the chicks at the door. That's all it said. That whole little sequence there, that's the whole story there. Music? It's okay. I mean, you're hearing what you get for right now. This is pretty much the only soundtrack I hear, and the little jingle that does. Nothing too spectacular, but nothing ear-grating either. Graphics are good for an arcade game with an 84. Nothing looks bad. Everything's serviceable, you know. It's a nice arcade game. And overall, I would say it's a good game with a lot of difficulty, but hey, it's an arcade game for you. They want to get your quarter's worth. Where to find this game? Well, if you want to go to the most direct route, we can buy the arcade machine. I found one on eBay that's listed for around almost $4,000. I probably don't recommend doing this, but hey, if you want to buy it, here you go. The version I played, which is the Sega Genesis version, which I'm pretty sure is the exact same as the arcade version. Either way, here is the one on price charting. Loose price of $24, complete price of around $65. This is actually more of an expensive game, especially compared to the Sonic games on the Sega Genesis. I love the cover of all the little chicks and their sunglasses, it's pretty neat. But yeah, loose price isn't too bad, but that complete price is quite steep, especially since Sega Genesis games usually come in their cases. Flicky also came out on the SG-1000, which is a Sega console that never came out in America. It's like the Mega Master System, but not. and I found a listing for it for 40 bucks. The reason why I'm showing this is at the price charting, because there's some reason no listing for this version of the game. It's a downgrade of the arcade version from what I've seen, and it's not really worth talking about since you have to. I'm not sure if it works on all of them, because this picture here showcases it works on. It looks like an American Master System. Other than that, I have no idea. It's worth getting. If you're really big into Flicky, here you go. For a game that has no info on price charting, it surprisingly doesn't seem that expensive. If you're big into Saturn, you can play it on the Sega Ages for Sega Saturn, but as you can probably tell from the pricing, it's really high. With a loose price of $130 and a complete price of $240, it's not worth picking up. However, if you really do, because the Sega Saturn is easy to mod, just put a little thing in the cartridge slot, the PAL version of the game is much cheaper, only going for $24 loose and $40 complete. So if you really like Sega Saturn and want to play Flicky in there, because that's your option. Sonic Mega Collection is also a pretty good way to play it. I think most people have played it on this collection here. Not going for very much, $13 complete on GameCube, and $10 on PS2 and Xbox. So you get a bunch of good games, as well as Flicky if you want to play it here. This is one of the recommended ones to do, unless you really want to go for extreme ones. Like the other ones are kind of extreme. This is one of the most basic ones, but not the most obvious one to get. You can use Sega Smash Back 2, a PC game that includes Flicky. I actually happen to own this PC game. As you can see, it's a $15 complete game. Not too rare, but yay. It's actually an easier way to play Flicky on PC because Flicky is on Steam for, as you can see, 99 cents. So you can buy it a bargain for the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classic bundle. This is part of the Sega's Genesis thing, which is kind of virtual thing that you have, where you can have your own game shelf and play it like you're actually in like a old school living room, which is pretty neat. But yeah, if you want to play Flicky, this is probably the most optimal way to go because it's so dirt cheap on Steam. One of the last ways to play Flicky that isn't obscure is the Nintendo Switch. Of April 2023, they added it to their expansion pack to their Genesis. So you have the expansion, which has a lot of stuff on it. I know some people don't like it, but hey, you basically get this game for free with that expansion. So there you go. There's another easy way to play Flicky if you're a Nintendo Switch user. So that is the Flicky game. Hope you enjoyed this video. Flicky is basically just a stepping stone for Sonic. Just a little bit of Sega history before we get into the main event. You see, Flicky never really got to start another game again, but at least his or her game lives on for you pretty easily to find, even though there is some versions that are really expensive, but you're not probably going to buy it, so that's all you really need to know. Flicky is a good game, and the character is adorable, and he or she got a chance to appear in a bunch of Sonic games, and even in some merchandise. I even have a Lego Flicky, so here you go. There's a history of a Sonic character that I didn't know that had this much stuff on it. Maybe you do, because most people played Mega Collection and remember playing Flicky, but hey, that's the history of Flicky. See you next time when we talk about the actual main series.